How's it going, my fellow Bigfoot nerds? Speaking of nerds, podcast, right? My favorite podcast has had a bunch of really great articles come out lately. Of course, I'm talking about Mysterious Universe, and I never really used the article feature in the app until they recently updated it. So now you get these cool like push notifications. So it goes across the top of your phone and it says like what the article is, and you know that's like a NASA article or a technology article. I usually skip it, but if it's a crypto or anything that piques my interest, I go check it out now, which is weird because I haven't really bothered accessing those features for like 6 years now. I've been a Plus member, I think. Damn, time. It's a long time. But anyway, totally worth it, by the way. In my opinion. $9 a month. And they're not paying me. Of course. But, so one of those articles happened to point out a North Dakota sighting of Bigfoot. So the story goes like this. A lady looked out her window and allegedly saw this large, hairy, monstrous-looking Bigfoot, I guess, of course. So she calls her guy friend over, Bauer, and this guy's like an outdoorsman, and he allegedly tracks and stuff. So he said that he tracked this thing over 7 miles, and it was like a barefoot. You see the photos, and it's definitely like a barefoot footprint for sure. But coming down the road, this was a 2-part article. They had an update to the story, and that story was that this incident made the news, the local news. So the person who did it, it was a hoax. It wasn't a Bigfoot. Spoiler alert. Actually, the person like sent in an anonymous note. They obviously didn't say who they were. Maybe they were afraid they'd get in trouble. But anyway, just explain the whole thing. They were drunk and bored. I mean, it's North Dakota. What are you gonna do? So they just felt like tramping around, and they even sent in photos of the fake Bigfoot things, which were huge. You know, it's just that classic like cartoony thing where it's like a shoe is here, and you put the shoe on, and you got these big like stamps. You know, so and he was. But Bauer says like there's no way a person could have made those leaps, I guess. But I don't know. What are you gonna go with? The guy that says he faked it, or are you gonna go with what Bauer said? I don't know if Bauer has photos of how far those, you know, like a proper tape measure. I'll have to look it up, but he says nobody could do that. I'm sure the guy who did it was like doing decent like leaps to make it look authentic in that sense. But it would be interesting to see if they do in fact like are unreasonably, you know, I don't know. You could fake that and it would still like look like a real Bigfoot did it. So that's doable, I think. And when I was out in North Dakota, I'm such a Bigfoot nerd that like every time I looked around me, there's no trees anywhere. It's the prairie, of course. So it's just rolling hills. And I always thought, I was like, there's no Bigfoot in this state. This is absolutely no place for him to hide. But then again, there aren't that many eyes to see them. So that's why you don't really hear too many Bigfoot reports. Even in Montana, in the mountains and stuff, like there are certainly a few, but you'd figure there'd be more in the Rockies. Like, I think most of your Bigfoot sightings in the Rockies are down in Colorado for some reason. A little bit warmer, maybe? I don't know. But yeah. So, I mean, you gotta go with, was it a hoax? I'm going with the guy hoaxed it. I mean, you gotta go with the obvious. So, still an interesting story. I think just because it happened in North Dakota, you never hear about any Bigfoot stuff going on in the prairie. There just really isn't enough food for a big ass, you know, hairy humanoid to live off of. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.